What's up guys, it's Frogfaduck, and this is one of the cheapest laptops that you could buy in 2015. It also happens to be one of the worst. But 2015 wasn't home to just one crappy thin and light laptop. There just so happened to be another crappy thin and light laptop released in 2015. For 10 times the price. The HP Stream 11 and the 2015 Retina MacBook. These two laptops are actually a little bit more similar than you would initially think. They were both released in 2015, they're both sleek and tiny thin and light laptops, and they both suck in their own unique ways. Let's bring these laptops over to the table to see how bottom tier and top tier trash compare to each other. These are the laptops. Let's take a quick little look at these machines. So the main star of this video, the HP Stream 11, is, you know, a hunk of plastic, but it's pretty slim, and honestly the plastic materials on here genuinely feels better than some of the more expensive laptops they were putting out at the time. For example, the HP laptop I owned, which then fell apart on me and then I turned it to the cookie tin PC. Taking a look at the side here, we have some kind of lock port, probably a Kensington lock. We've got the plug for the power adapter, which is strangely asymmetrical on the side here, which looks a bit wonky. We have a full-size SD card slot, which is very nice. Good job, HP. But it was 2015, it was more normal back then. We've also got, on this side, a full-size HDMI, USB 3, USB 2, I'm assuming it's 3 because you got the super speed logo, a headphone jack, and the power indicator. Seriously? Oh my god. Looking at the front, we've got nothing. Looking at the back, we've got nothing. But it does say Hewlett-Packard on the back. Looking at the bottom, we've got 4 feet and some screws. And of course, when looking at the bottom of your laptop, you need to be reminded that HP is a registered trademark of Hewlett-Packard Company. In case you didn't know, just a reminder. Looking at the MacBook for comparison, we have one USB-C port and one headphone jack. That's it. That's all the ports that you get. We also have 4 feet on the bottom. And yeah, these are extremely similar laptops in what they're trying to achieve in terms of being thin light machines. It's just, you know, one costs nearly 10 times the amount as the other. So let's take a closer look at the HP. Get out of here, Mac. HP time. First thing you'll notice with this laptop is that it is very blue. I've always really liked the color of this laptop, honestly. That's the one thing that this thing is going for it. If you're gonna make something cheap and crappy, at least give it some colors. The laptops that have taken the place of this guy, basically modern Chromebooks, they all look extremely bland and boring. And if I open this guy up, you will see this thing actually looks pretty damn cool. I will give this thing credit. In terms of looks, I actually really like how it looks with this blue gradient here that goes from a light blue to a dark blue that matches the rest of the computer. This looks nice. I actually like how this laptop looks, and I kind of wish we had more laptops that look a little more interesting like this. A lot of tech reviewers nowadays focus on, you know, the slim bezels of the Dell XPS or the Microsoft Surface laptop, but that's really not what people are buying. People are mostly buying these sorts of laptops, you know, the Aces and the Lenovos of the world that still look pretty hideous, and even HP's laptops, because they've always looked hideous. This laptop, in terms of its looks, is honestly really refreshing, and I love how it actually looks. And that's probably where the good parts of this laptop end, really. The keyboard on here is white. Not the biggest fan of white keys because they will look disgusting if you have literally anything on your fingers. And the key fill is not too bad, but we'll get into the spacebar a little bit later. We do have some gripes about the spacebar particularly, but that's for a little bit later. Why don't we turn this machine on? Ah, what? The CMOS checksum's invalid. Blah, 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 blah. Enter. Oh my god, the screen is not liking this refresh rate of the camera. This might be a little tricky to film. Just give me one moment.
Go Ouija! Go Ouija! Go Ouija!
Can we just give a shout out to the Blackmagic camera app for actually letting me change the shutter speed of the video? Google, please add some more controls to your camera app. Might look a little bit different, but hey, at least we can see the screen without giving y'all a seizure. This laptop here is running the infamous... Oh. Oh, what have I done? Oh, no, I've installed Classic Shell. What have I done? This laptop here runs the infamous Windows 8.1. Wow, I have really debloated this install. There's like nothing left on here. People really hated Windows 8 and Windows 8.1 upon launch. I think, honestly, Windows 8 is a perfectly fine operating system. Literally, all Microsoft needed to do was this: keep the taskbar visible on the start screen, and people would have liked it more. People would have cared a little bit less about this interface if the taskbar stayed here and didn't just disappear, and people would have freaked out less when, you know, their taskbar disappeared and they were in a completely different UI. Windows 8 and Windows 8.1 is still an extremely stable operating system because it's basically just Windows 7 with some stuff put on top of it. This was the start of the downfall for Windows, but honestly, I really think Windows 10 is where a lot of the crapification of Windows came from. People praise Windows 10 nowadays with Windows 11 being out, but man, Windows 10 kind of sucks, and I think people are really forgetting that when talking about Windows 11. Again, you know, you have all the crap of the start screen put onto it, but it's not that bad, honestly, and it was actually pretty well made. And if you were on a touch device, the way it was actually made and all the animations was still extremely nice. So if we go into like PC settings, on a touchscreen, this stuff was actually perfectly fine, and they actually improved things a little bit in 8.1 by actually giving you like title bars and stuff to make it more friendly for keyboard and mouse users. Oh, there we go. Now we've split screened PC settings and the desktop, which has just always been weird. They really should have just made these apps be able to run on the desktop. And also just how they handled a lot of the other shortcuts like the Charms bar by having to go into the corner and swiping down like that, and this to get to the apps. This always sucked. Absolutely sucked. And trying to teach literally anyone above the age of 40 how to use this was a horrible task. Quite frankly, I think it was genuinely an impossible task. But for something like this, Windows 8 isn't really fantastic because, again, all the touch UI just doesn't make sense, especially trying to do it with this crappy trackpad, which we'll get into. But in terms of stability, Windows 8, extremely stable on here and actually is pretty damn good. Can't say the same about Windows 10. If I were to load Windows 10 on here, it would be an absolutely miserable experience. To see why this thing wouldn't run Windows 10 well at all, let's go into Control Panel. As you can see, this guy here runs with an Intel Celeron, whatever that means. 2 whole gigabytes of RAM is pretty pathetic, not gonna lie, even in 2015. Oh, also I forgot to go over just how much storage this guy has. It's laughable. 32 gigabytes of storage. 32 gigs of storage. It shows up as 21.7 in File Explorer. And also Windows by default takes up half of it. I debloated this OS a bunch, so there's a lot more free space, but even in 2015, only having half of your storage usable and only 32 gigs of storage on a laptop was insanely laughable. And I am very certain that it's eMMC storage too, so it would be incredibly slow. Let's click on Microsoft Edge, because yes, Microsoft Edge installed itself to Windows 7 and 8 machines as well as 10. That's kind of funny. Thanks Microsoft for enshittifying Windows 7 and 8 a little bit. By the way, did you know that Windows 7 and 8 also have telemetry in them? It's true. Microsoft backported some telemetry stuff to 7 and 8. What? Microsoft Edge is no longer supported on this version of Windows? Are you telling me I can't do any more edging on this machine? Aww. You know what? It's better than Internet Explorer. I really should put Firefox in this thing. Alright, let's look at the processor in this machine. Oh yeah, how do you like having 2 cores, 2 threads? Of course it only supports up to DDR3 RAM as well, you know. None of the fast stuff. It's like a 7-watt TDP as well, it's great. Yep, you can see all the specs here, just how slow this guy is. Let's compare this to the other nugget, the 2015 Retina MacBook. Over in Macland, things aren't really looking so swell. I've turned the machine on, it turned on and then shut back down. I left this thing charging for about an hour. Wow, the battery already died. I left it charging for an hour, took it off, filmed that little segment, and it's dead. This thing does not boot fast. I'm gonna tell you that much. Oh, okay. Kernel panic. Hell yeah. So wait, did it die because of battery or a kernel pack? What happened, man? Now we just wait for this thing to boot up. We can talk about some of the differences between the laptops while we wait. The Mac has the worst keyboard, and we'll get into that soon. It has the butterfly keyboard on it. It has the better trackpad with the... What is this thing doing? It just kernel panicked again. Is this Mac like... What's happened to this poor guy? It worked in the previous video I filmed with it. Actually, it randomly shut down while filming that. Hey, I mean, it works fine enough, I guess. What just happened? So, this guy's not doing well. While that boots, why don't we maybe try getting a game on here? Oh my god, this Mac. I'm gonna give this guy one more chance to boot, and if it doesn't work, then we're just gonna have to proceed without it. But what we're gonna do on this little guy is we're gonna push its power a little bit, and we're going to install Minecraft. You can just see how bad the colors are on this screen too. It's your typical average TN panel where your colors look like crap, they're all extremely washed out when you look face on, but it gets even worse when you look off angle and oh, now you can't see anything. Let's press extract all. Extract. It's not fast. It's trying to do 70 megabytes. I think this is what happens when you get a computer with eMMC storage on it. It's not quick. And also when you don't have enough processing power to unzip files in a fast manner. And also when Edge is using up how much of your RAM? Let's find out. What? No way. How can Edge only be using 42 megabytes of RAM? No, that's not correct. I don't care what you say. That is not correct. How are we only using 43 megs of RAM? What's taking up all the RAM? Okay, now Windows Modules Installer. One of the problems with Windows is that a lot of this background crap just kills all your performance for no reason. And you can't really do anything about it because they're all just system components. Probably is something you could do about it. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Windows Modules Install. Oh, is it doing a Windows update? Alright, let's go to prismlauncher.exe. Oh, no. I need APIs and crap. Let's see if we can watch a YouTube video on here and what the speakers would sound like. Why don't we watch a video about the HP Stream 7 on the HP Stream 11? I think that's pretty fitting. Oh, I love Domino's Pizza. Okay, skip. Okay, so far this thing is being pretty competent. There's a lot of other machines I've tested on this channel who can't say the same, but this isn't doing too bad. Let's try 720p 60. This screen is not 1080p, so we really don't need 1080p on here. Machines are honestly insanely impressive with what they've been able to achieve. As you can see, you can play nearly anything on here, including So there you go, 720p 60 is a little bit too much for this guy. What about using this thing as a little tiny typing machine? Say you want to create a Word document. Well, I see Microsoft Office. Do we have Word? So looks like we're just going to have to notepad this one, I see. Okay, here we go. Let me get nice and comfortable. You know, we need to give this thing a fair shot. As what I've typed here, you'll notice that the spacebar doesn't really work properly. Why is that? Because the spacebar feels like crap. If you hit it on this angle, it basically doesn't work. It literally doesn't work if you hit it on this edge, see? You can actuate it, you can push it all the way down, but nothing's happening. Nothing's happening! My dad was the owner of this laptop. He needed a laptop for work. He went in and bought the cheapest thing possible. Also, it was a nice shade of blue. And this was his biggest complaint. The spacebar not working. Because in a job where you have to type, that's pretty important. You kind of need a spacebar. So the simple fact that the spacebar doesn't work half the time is kind of a big deal on this guy. The rest of the keys feel actually not too bad. If this spacebar felt as good as these other keys, this would actually be a pretty serviceable and nice keyboard. The buttons have a nice tactile feel to them. It's just that the spacebar sucks. The spacebar feels like there's something stuck in there, and I can tell you it's been like this since brand new. Everything else in this keyboard done pretty well, but the spacebar is horrid. It's actually one of the worst things I've ever used. But speaking of the worst thing I've ever used, what kind of keyboard would you get if you spent 10 times the amount on one? At least you get a functioning keyboard on here. This guy, if you spend 10 times the amount, what do you get? the butterfly keyboard. You can see the difference in how much the keys travel. They pretty much travel zero distance on the MacBook, while on here, they're very mushy and nice to type on. Do you like the feeling of slapping your fingers on a flat surface with nothing soft to stop you? Well, this is one of the worst laptop keyboards I've ever used, and just goes to show that in 2015, even if you spent 10 times the amount on a MacBook, you would get the worst keyboard in the industry. Even to this day, the worst. Also, the spacebar on here feels particularly bad, which is kind of funny because that's the same thing for the HP Stream 11. And again, you only get a single port on the MacBook. That's about it. The HP, you get significantly more ports. And also the fact that the failure rates on these MacBooks are significantly high. The motherboards fail. The single USB port fails. The screens failed. Considering the fact that this right here is a HP product, I wouldn't be too surprised if the failure rates on these things were also pretty high, but still, man. For something that costs, like, again, 10 times the amount, you would expect there to be less failures on something like this. Both of these guys suck in their very own ways. I still can't get this guy to boot though. I want to do comparisons between these two, like head-to-head comparisons, but if it's not gonna boot, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Even while it's kernel panicking over and over again, you can see that the screen on the MacBook is definitely better than the HP Stream 11. I'm gonna see if I can get this guy to work at all so I can actually do some head-to-head comparisons. If not, then we're just gonna focus on the HP Stream 11 and see what we can do with this guy. This guy's dead. It pretty much just keeps kernel panicking over and over again, no matter what troubleshoot steps I do. So that means the HP Stream 11 wins by default. It outlived the MacBook. It's just the MacBook. That's all it's called. So there we go. This little HP, guys, holding up pretty well and better than a laptop that is 10 times the price of it. All things considered, this guy is doing extremely well. It's not as bad as I used to think it was, but it's time to really put it through its paces. And we're going to be trying to game on it. That's right, we've got Minecraft loaded onto this thing. Minecraft Java Edition. Now, unfortunately, I have loaded the fabulously optimized pack on here to get sodium and all that stuff on it, but if I try and launch it, you will see the game failed to start because the currently installed Intel graphics driver is not compatible. Where? No. Something interesting I found is that if we launch the basic version of 1.21, an unmodified version, what's that opening in the background? Mojang, it's actually booting? What? It's loading Minecraft 1.21? How's that even possible? I don't know, but the HP Stream 11 is doing it. It's the music playing on the crappy speakers. Maybe I can mute it because it's not made by C418. Let's click onto single player and we are now preparing for world creation. It's doing the thing where it doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. Now let's call it HP. And for the seed, we're going to be doing one HP. This is the HP seed. Create new world. The creation progress is taking quite a bit. Why don't we time lapse this? We're in! Oh my god, and it's lagging, of course. Let's press function key F3, because it's not going to be bound to the actual function keys. 0 FPS! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah. My favorite, seconds per frame. This is how I used to run Minecraft when I first played, on my Core 2 Duo HP compact laptop. That was kind of crappy. Okay, maybe we should at least change some of the settings. And you know the drill by now. Turn off Byron Blend. No, not fabulous. That's not good. Fast. Simulation distance, let's just put that down to 5 chunks. Render distance, we'll put it down to 4. I don't want to go down to 2. Oh, VSync off for sure. Max frame rate, unlimited. Now we're going to be getting all the frames per second. And the flickering's gone on the camera. Yes, things are working. Oh, we're going to have to play with a trackpad and mouse. That doesn't matter anyway because we're only getting 4 FPS. No way. That's halfway to double digits. No way. And also, yes, I have plugged in the machine. Oh, wait. 30 frames? Holy crap. We are doing this. I need a mouse, like, right now. I really need one. Literally, the only mouse I can find right now is the MX Master 3S, a mouse that is way too classy for this machine, but hey, we're gonna put it in anyway. Now we are gaming. They've added a lot of stuff to the F3 menu, making it a little bit unplayable, but look at that. 20 frames per second, 18. It's not entirely unplayable. Honestly, like, if I was 9, this would be fine. Hey, that rhymes. There's probably a lot of 9-year-olds who ended up with this laptop, let's be real. Mommy and daddy's not gonna spend a lot of money on you, Timmy. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing the Minecraft. We're chopping down the tree. When we look up to the sky, we're getting so much more frames. This is like actually playable. Never mind, I looked to the ground. Oh, do you guys remember what I was saying about the spacebar? You can hear me press it. Is there anything happening on the screen? No, barely. We've all played Minecraft like this at one stage, but it's kind of a rite of passage to play Minecraft Java at 2 render distance fast settings. But mind you, this is playing on single player, which is actually more resource intensive than multiplayer, which we will try in a moment. Also, I just realized I'm playing a bad FOV. Let's go up to Quake Pro. It's the only way to actually play Minecraft properly. This is kind of an OP, like, starting seed, because you immediately just get food. This is an infinite supply of food right here, right now, ready to go. As we're moving forwards and we're loading more chunks, game's lagging a little bit. Let's fall through the terrain. Okay, no, the terrain's there. It's just not loading. Is that a tree without leaves? Herobrine? Oh my god, it's Herobrine! The trees don't have leaves! Oh no, it does now. Wasn't that a part of the original Herobrine creepypasta? That the trees didn't have leaves? There was lots of fog? I think the guy might have just been having performance issues like we're having right now. Let's see how it performs on a server. Let's play Minecraft multiplayer. Blah blah blah, thanks Microsoft. But what server are we going to add? Let's just type in a random IP address. What's this random IP address? Oh wait, it's yours, the viewer. What? Frogfaduck member server? That's right, if you become a channel member, you can join this Minecraft server. Starts at only $1 a month and you get bonus videos. Had to shield that in this video, but let's play on the server. Which, by the way, has Discord integration, so the people on the Discord server will know that I've joined and might join along too. This should run better because the terrain generation is handled server side. And oh my god, it's still really laggy. Okay, here we are. We are now in the server. And we're just kind of walking around here. But look at that, 38 frames per second. The frame times are a lot more stable. 20 FPS, 12 FPS. This is without sodium, mind you, because I couldn't get it to work. And there's a creeper. Don't want to... Well, I mean, I've turned mob grieving off, so it's not really going to do too much damage. No! Damn. Okay, let's go through the secret little tunnel down here. Alright, let's go up. Ah, no, my sword, no! I forgot, I don't have Optifine installed. I bound my zoom to Q. Because I don't like it being C. Ah, crap. Alright, we're gonna have to battle axe this one. Oh, the lag is horrible. Sword, sword, sword. Okay, we got the sword back. But, as you can see up here, we can see we got a little dog up here. We are getting some good frame rates. We're actually getting nearly 60 FPS, which is basically the max that this can handle. So pretty much nearly full frame rates, but this is kind of easy for anything to run. You're up in the sky with nothing around you. Let's fly on the HP Stream 11. Woo! Alright, let's not crash into anything because there's a lot of tall buildings near spawn, and I'm genuinely afraid I'm going to smash into something. And we've now landed here, and we can see all the ominous fog around us. And yeah, you can pretty much see the game is basically playable without any performance enhancing mods on a server. I guarantee this would run somewhat better on the Retina MacBook, but that thing's dead at the moment, so I can't compare head to head. There is a lot of stuttering as we're trying to load things in, and I keep dropping things. So overall, what do I think about the HP Stream 11? I know in the title and thumbnail I said that this is one of the worst laptops that I've ever used, but really? It's actually surprisingly decent. I just like saying it's the worst because I hate HP and everything they do. Of course, it has its issues and it's certainly crappy in some areas, but quite frankly, it's still very decent for what it is. The keyboard on it is really good, the colors of it look fantastic, the port selection's not horrible, and it's pretty thin light. Other than that, everything else about it is pretty bad. The speakers are bad, the screen is bad, the spacebar is bad, the trackpad is eh. They sold these things for way too long. I saw these in stores for years and years, and they just didn't get rid of them. And then they did, and now we're left with these grey Chromebooks and these just boring looking Windows machines that barely run Windows. Windows are so bloated nowadays. I mean, let it be known, these cheaper computers still don't run Windows fine, but like, this is running Windows 8 just fine. You go find a $200, $300 laptop now that can run Windows this smoothly. It's impossible because Windows 11 is bloated to all hell. You open the start menu, you open Microsoft Edge, and the whole thing just chugs. It's great. And the sidebar things takes up like 400 megabytes of RAM, especially if you only have 4 gigs on your machine. And now this is one of the rare cases where a HP laptop is surprisingly not as bad as it seems, but it still can be classified as one of the worst laptops that I've ever used. Because in real world usage, this thing wasn't very good even in 2015. As much as I hate this laptop, there's also so much that's endearing about this thing. So much that this thing does that modern laptops still can't do. Again, it's built surprisingly decently, at least on the outside. I don't know what the reliability's like on these things, probably not good. And it looks really nice too, which, again, you just don't see these days on modern laptops. And I can commend the HP Stream 11 for that. If you put a powerful modern processor in this housing, not only would it be a really nice laptop, but it'll also probably run pretty well because modern efficiency is just so much better. Price be damned, this laptop could be really good. Also, swap out this awful screen. The screen sucks, it's terrible. My name is Frockfduck, you can say that however you want, I really don't care. New videos weekly. I'm going to be trying weekly uploads now, so look out for that. We'll see how long I can keep that streak up for. Consider becoming a channel member like all these people on the screen have. I've already mentioned the benefits before when playing the Minecraft server. It's cool. $1 a month, and there's a bunch of other tiers if you want to give me more money, I guess. And that's about it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.